welcome back to another video. I'm really sorry if you can hear snoring in the background. Just want to point it out ASAP before I forget. It's my dog. He seems to snore when he's awake and when he's asleep. It's really bizarre. But anyway, so in this video I'm doing a set. Well, I'm not doing a full set, but I'm doing my left hand a nice long set of acrylics. Obviously you see what they're going to look like on the thumbnail, but I decided to leave in the prep stage and removal of my past set in this video because I asked you all on Instagram what you wanted to see on my channel, because when you upload a video literally every day, it's really difficult to make sure that things on your channel are different every time. I don't want my videos to get too samey and stuff, so I thought, or who best to ask than the people that watch my videos. So yeah, a lot of people mention that they'd want to see prep, because I always skip that bit out. Mainly just because I think it's boring to watch, so I've never really put it in, but a few of you asked to see it, so I just thought I might as well kill two birds with one stone. I was due to do my nails anyway, so I've included it in this video. So here you just saw me using a Willow Academy e-file bit. It's called the Green Smoothie and it's got huge teeth so I definitely wouldn't recommend using it if you're not confident with using your e-file yet, and obviously don't use any bits at all if you're not qualified. So here I'm just going in with, I always forget what this one's called. I think it's called the Pip or something like that. It was in my favourites video and I linked it in there. So if you do want the link, if you can't find it on the website for any reason, then it is there. But yeah, I'm just going in here and it looks like I'm putting pressure on the nail, but I'm actually not. I'm not really touching the nail, hardly at all. Just very, very gently if I do touch the nail. I am mainly focusing on just taking that skin away from the nail plate and just separating it, so I won't have any lifting because there won't be any skin stuck to the plate, and then me apply product on top. So I go around the left side of my nail first, and then I'm constantly just wary of excess skin as well, actually, not my cuticle area, just around that area, dry skin. I am using this bit just to get rid of any of that as well. Super easy with this bit. It's brilliant. I absolutely love it. It's just fab, and it's the perfect size as well. So here you can just see I'm just removing some excess skin very, very gently, just making sure that I'm peeling, sort of pushing the skin back from my nail plate as well as lifting it up as well, because obviously I don't actually use pushing tools majority of the time. Sometimes I do, it depends on the client. On my own I don't really tend to, because I do them that often, there's not really a hell of a lot to do most of the time. So I usually just go straight in with e-file bits, but if anyone's got any really stubborn cuticles, I will push them back with a pusher first just to lift them a little bit before I start with my e-file. So here I'm just going in with a Willow Academy sanding band. This is a 240 grit and the RPM's super low, so it's basically just doing the same job as a nail file, a hand file would do. Nice smooth grit, and well, smooth but not smooth enough that it's going to make my nail smooth. 240 grit is plenty to etch a nail plate ready for application for anything, and that is what I use on everyone for anything. It's always a 240 grit. So here I'm just literally removing the shine off my nail plate. I'm also using this to push back the skin still. Obviously the Pip bit does majority of it, but you can never push them back too much. Well, you probably could, that's a bit of a stupid thing to say, but yeah, I'm using this to push them back as well. Make sure that those cuticles and sidewalls really are out of the way of my nail plate, ready for when I do apply my product. And then I'm just making sure that there is no shiny surfaces left anywhere on my nails, so my product will adhere properly. I didn't actually prime in this video, mainly just because I don't really care about my own nails lasting at the moment, which sounds ridiculous, but I'm just being stingy and I don't want to use my primer for no reason. But I'm changing them that often, it's really not necessary, because obviously primer is for longevity and I don't really need them to last very long, so it's fine. So if you can hear tapping, I'm really sorry, my dog has arisen from snoring and he's just wandered off. So yeah, I'm just going in with this one all over every nail. That bit there in the middle of this nail that you see that looks really red, it does look red, and it is red in person, but not to that extent. It looks much worse on there, and yeah, if anyone remembers how my pinky nail looked a couple of months ago, in previous videos of me doing my own nails, if you saw them, then you'll see that I had quite severe lifting, nail separation on my pinky. It has clearly grown out very, very well. It's almost to basically where it should be now, so that's really, really good. Nails this length I'm about to do are not a good idea on nails that are separated, but do as your nail tech says, not as she does. That's my motto. So anyway, once I've finished doing that, I'm just going to go in with a hand file. This is really the only thing I use a hand file for, is shaping. I really don't use it for much else because I have e-file bits for absolutely everything there is to do now, which is brilliant. It's a lot less strain on hands, arms, wrists, shoulders, backs, absolutely everything. I've noticed such a massive difference in my overall health since using e-file bits, especially Willow Academy. They are absolutely brilliant. Definitely worth the money. And you can get 5% off, is it 5%? I think it's 5% off codes as well from the Willow Ambassadors, which is really, really good. 5% is way better than nothing, so it's definitely worth having a look for one of those. Anyway, I'm just going in with these cuticle nippers now, just to nip off any little bits of excess. I do use my e-file to get off the majority, and to be honest, I don't always go in with nippers, but today I just thought, considering I'm doing a whole part of a video like on this, I should probably at least attempt to do it properly. I don't really put a lot of effort into my own nails, to be honest. I probably shouldn't admit it, but it's true. So I'm just getting out any bits that I think may be a problem with my adhesion, if they are in the way. That index finger, the little dark spot, is indeed a cut in my nail bed. Obviously through the plate, and it's hit the bed because it did bleed, but it hasn't for a while. It is healed up, it's just dark underneath the nail. It's quite embarrassing how awful my nails are in a state at the moment, but that's what happens when I am too rough with them and when I do them way too often. I have lockdown to thank for that, as well as my own stupidity. So I'm just showing you these tips that I'm using. I think I got these from Amazon, I think they're in one of my Amazon hauls. Then I realised I actually don't really use the stuff that I buy from Amazon majority of the time. And then so I do these hauls and say, yeah, I've bought these, they look fantastic. And then you never hear whether they are or not. So I'm trying to make a conscious effort to actually use things that I've bought and give sort of a bit of feedback on them. So I just wanted to quickly mention about these tips. I actually do really like them. I did find, I don't know why, but they won't seem to work with any other nail glue other than one that I've just used. I've tried them with 2 other different ones apart from the Glitter Planet ones, and they just wouldn't stick, and that's on me and clients. They're just a nightmare. And then the second thing is, so I just want to shout out to that Glitter Planet nail glue as well. It is fantastic. It literally dries instantly. What it says on the bottle is exactly how it works. So if you're not really confident with placing your tips perfectly as soon as you place them on the nails, do not get that glue. They need to be exactly where you want them the second they hit the nail, because you are not going to be able to move them otherwise. I actually did stick a tip on my pinky a little bit wonky, and I had to soak it off because you just can't possibly move them a slight bit to be able to reshape. So anyway, back to the tips. I love them. I love the shape of them, and I think the length is beautiful. The length of these is perfect for me in terms of having really long nails. Like, this is the longest I will probably go, and the shape and length of them is beautiful. The only problem I have is the sizing of the tips. For some reason, the biggest size, like the thumb, seemed to almost fit my thumb. It was just slightly too big, but then the second one down that should have been smaller was way too big. So like size 0 is all right, and then size 1 is huge when it should be the other way around. And then there's just times where, like, the problem is the difference between size 1 and 2 is that 2 is stupidly small for my size thumb and 1 is massive. So I ended up having to use the 0, which was slightly smaller than the 1, and then cutting a tiny bit off. So it was a bit of a nightmare getting them to match because the sizing is all over the place, but they were really cheap, I think. If they weren't, then I'm fuming. But I'm pretty sure they were quite cheap for what I got. And they're from Amazon, so I don't really know what I was expecting. But yeah, they're usable. I can work with it. So we're way past the next stage. So this is obviously my acrylic application. I was sat in basically an igloo. My nail room is so cold, and don't want to put the central heating on in the house because I'm usually at home on my own when I'm filming, and I just feel like heating the whole house, because if you've seen my room, you'll know, like my salon tours and stuff, my room is on the side of the house, so it is attached, but there's a door that links the house and my room. So I usually just have like a little fan heater on in that room and then shut the door when people are home, and it keeps me nice and toasty in there. And then when people are not home, I have the door open because the dogs are in the house and I need to know whether they want to go out and stuff like that, or whether there's anyone at the door for parcels and things, if anyone's expecting anything. So I have to have the door open, and I don't really want to put the heating on. My heater does nothing when the door's open because obviously the heat just leaves. And the central heating, I just feel like I'm wasting my mum and dad's money when I heat the whole house just for me to sit in one room of the house. So anyway, that was a really long explanation. My point was the acrylic was really runny and it took really long time to set because I was in such a cold room. The warmer your room, the quicker your acrylic will set. So just wanted to point out why I was chasing that bead around my index finger for so long, is because I didn't even click that I would need to use a lot less liquid in my bead and drain out the back of the brush before I'd already placed it. So that's why that first bead was really wet. Anyway, now on to filing. Don't really have a lot to do because if you make sure that your application is pretty much smooth or as close to it as you can get, obviously you have less filing to do, which is fantastic because I hate filing, especially my own nails, and especially when they're long, because it just, I don't know why they just get in my way. So I'm just literally doing the side walls now and a little bit of, oh no, I've done the side walls. I'm just going a little bit underneath now just to make sure that there's no excess product under there looking all rough. And then I'm going to go in with a 180 grit Willow Academy sanding band this time on my mandrel, and I'm just going to basically smooth over the, I can't speak today, I don't know what is wrong with me, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I'm just going to smooth over the nails and make sure that they are all ready, no lumps and bumps, and they are perfectly ready for my application of design. Finally got that out. There's not really much for me to explain in this stage, so obviously you just need to make sure that you're looking at them from all different angles to make sure that, as you can see here, I'm making sure that everything flows properly, and yeah, that everything's nice and smooth. Look from all angles. So you want to look from the side and then the other side, and then also look down the barrel of the nail, which is basically looking at the tip while you're pointing at yourself, if that makes any sense. And then you'll see whether you've got one side higher than the other or not, and if not, then fantastic. But if you do, then you know you just need to remove some of the bulk from either side. So this is what we're left with. This is the foil that I'm going to be using. I'm pretty sure this was in a packet that I got from Amazon. I'm not 100% though, because I have a lot of foils and none of them have got any labels on, so it could be from anywhere, let's be honest. So here I am using Tia's Beauty holographic dust. I absolutely love the dust from there. They were in my must-haves video because, in my opinion, they are a must-have. They are just so beautiful. I think there is 12 altogether, so there is literally a colour for every set. I have not done one set of nails yet off the top of my head that I don't think one of those would have matched, so that's really good. I'm then just using Foil Me, which is also famous on my channel. I absolutely love this from Sparkle Supplies UK. It's absolutely brilliant. I've never had any problems with it. I will admit I haven't had it for a hell of a long time. I only got it in November, but since November, every single foil that I have tried to apply has applied correctly and looked good. So I think that's a long enough amount of time to be able to say that it's my favourite thing. So yeah, I'm just applying it to the full middle nail and then this area of my index finger, because that is how much of the nail I want to be covered in foil. Obviously you saw the foil I'm going to be using, and then I'm going to outline it later on. So I'm just choosing which area of the foil I wanted, and then I cut some off because you don't need the whole piece, because obviously you're not going to be using all of it. I like to keep the pieces that are in my book neat as well, so I do cut off bits to use. And then this bit will be plenty big enough for this nail and also the one next to it. So I've used those areas there for that one. I'm then just going to place this on, just rub it in. You will find that after a minute or so, not even that, of rubbing, the foil itself will start just coming away from the pattern on your nail, and that's when you know that it's stuck, is because obviously it's not even attached to your nail anymore because it's not stuck to it, because the transfer has already occurred and it's all job done. So I'm just applying the holographic dust from Tia's Beauty with this tubby glitter brush. I think that's what it's called. I might just made it up, but it might be called a tubby pigment brush. It's definitely Tubby something. I always remember that because it's a really cute name. But yeah, I use this all the time for application of different things like dusts, chrome. Like you can literally use it for anything. Glitter is brilliant. I've got a few now. I have like one for glitter because glitter is obviously slightly chunkier, and then I have one for dusts because they're finer. I just love it. It's absolutely amazing. And I think it's something ridiculous like £3.50, which is nothing for such a fab brush. I'm then just using some Give Me Strength mixed with that dust again and my Magpie Striper brush just to complete this quite thick line. But you'll see why I did it thick in a minute, because this is an outline technically, but then I'm going to outline the outline. So I needed it to be thick enough for you to be able to see it. And then I'm going to be using some flexi tape. I actually don't remember where I got this specific one from. You can get it from all sorts of different places, and I've had this silver one for so long. I decided to use silver because the foil that I used with the flowers has bits of silver in, so it just matched really well. I don't know if you can see it there, but there is some hollow silver. Anyway, like I was saying, you can actually get this from Sparkle Supplies UK for a really good price, and obviously with my 15% off discount code, which is always in the description box, blah blah blah. I mention it every single time. With the 15% off, it's even cheaper, which is fantastic. So it's always nice to have a few different colours. I think if you're going to get a couple, just get like a gold and a silver and a rose gold, and then build up to like colours afterwards. I think you can get rainbow ones as well. Anyway, I'm just going to pop some crystals on my pinky, and then I did pop a medium-sized crystal on my thumb as well, but I didn't show you that because it was literally just a plain thumb with a crystal at the bottom. There's nothing exciting really going on there. So that's all for this set. I do top coat off camera and then show you afterwards, just because I can't seem to do it on camera. It's a nightmare. But yeah, I really hope you like this set. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back really soon with my next video. If you don't already subscribe to me, then please do. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed it, and I will do more sort of the same. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye.